Should I or should not flex my bling? Should have a couple really cool signatures on my Elves card, and we are taking a look at Metagross Elves in this video. So first of Titania is probably the strongest card in this deck. So if your opponent plays this one on turn 2, maybe it is time to kill it.
Really surprising to see this Monogreen deck, Monogreen ramp deck, back in the format, especially since Corzalan Shaman and Loudart are a very huge and relevant part of the current metagame. So, well, I think you watched the recent Pauper Eternal Edition held in Lucca at the end of November. I was part of the casting team, and um, Elves wasn't really one of the decks I was expecting to see so relevant and good in that event, but even thought Elves proved to be good. I talked about Monogreen Elves plenty enough with Giorgio Venditti. You may know him as Giorgio Combo on his YouTube channel. I will eventually link his socials on the video description on the description of this video. So we talked about elves because Giorgio said to me that the deck is well placed right now because it is very good against mono blue terra and is not so bad against Jammed Viper. And to be honest, against Jammed, I think this deck is good, but there is a really relevant card, which is Corzalan Shaman, and against Corzalan Shaman, you are not really great. But to be honest, I think Giorgio, after a couple discussion, got a really great deck list. So we are going to discuss his deck list and eventually why I'm not playing the exact same 75 cards. So I think it's mostly due to me liking more certain cards rather than others. Just to say, I don't think Spinewood Paladin is so great. Yeah, it is a 5/4 creature. You may pay just 4 mana to cast it. It has both trample and not so relevant life gain effect. So it could be good against but decks in which you want to be the aggressive deck, and against decks you need to survive. So you can bring in the card that got against mono red burn or red queens, or even against mono blue and eventually some sort of control piles like Good Gardens, Jeskai Wi-Fi, etc. We talk about Gingerbread Cabin. I think this card is an auto inclusion if you play Generous Ant, especially if you want to play Land Grant. Gingerbread Cabin alongside Queer Ranger is very good. I think it's a relevant play. I haven't thought it may be quite annoying to have the Gingerbread Cabin in early game without having enough lands. In late game against a lot of archetypes, if the game goes longer, Gingerbread Cabin could be very strong. After all, it is a free food token. You don't really require anything relevant, and you return the forest and thanks to Queer Ranger. So I think we need to talk about a card that Giorgio discovered from Duskmourn, in which Monstrous Emergence. This card is very strong. So it was good in Duskmourn draft, and it is good even in ramp piles because you play a relevant amount of big creatures. After all, Elves is no longer a combo deck, is more it's just Gruul ramp without Virgin Chrysalis. So you don't have Wild Growth, you don't have Ethiopia Sprawl or Maryland Rumble, but you have 8 copies of Ludo Stampede. You still have the initiative, and this deck relies a lot on Avenging Hunter. So Monstrous Emergence is very strong, vital, and crucial for monogram elves to fight mono red madness. So you may wonder why Monstrous Emergence over any other card, like life again effects or creatures that you can pick with your Little Stampede. With Giorgio, we playtested, playing off the matchup, grow ramp against Mono Red Madness, and of course Elves against Mono Red Madness. And the most relevant thing was for the green beast deck, not leaving Gutter Snipe and Casting Plumbrator in play. So in grow ramp, you have ramp true, and the other card that uh, let me check which is the card. Yeah, so that's Horrific Assault. In grow ramp, Horrific Assault is really great against Monarch Madness because it is but life gain. You get back 3 life if you control an Eldrazi when you cast this card, and it is as well a rebel spell. So the most relevant part is destroying the Gutter Snipe because you try to kill your opponent as fast as possible. So you try to have turn 5 lethal when you're playing ramp against this kind of decks. And of course, Mono Red Madness can't really wait for you to not have anything any answer to the Gutter Snipe. They're kind of forced to play any creature to try to kill you as fast as possible. Of course, this is as well related to maybe grow ramp even with a storm, but most times it is just related on moral spells and this kind of decks plays Avenging Hunter. So Avenging Hunter alongside Ramal spells, those two mechanic, Ramal spells and initiative are the most relevant thing when you're playing a green aggressive strategy to defeat Mono Red Madness, which is probably the best combo deck right now. So you need to put pressure on the battlefield, and as well you need to have an answer to the creature. Often, not often, but sometimes, sometimes your answers might be not good. I mean, after all, if the game goes longer, if you don't have a decent starting hand and the game is really slow, they just wait and kill you in the late game by having every land drop and firing off a Gatro Snipe with a Kupol Fire Blast and Loud Art and Lightning Bolt. But usually it is not the case, being you a very aggressive deck. So for that reason, I think adding Monstrous Emergence is very relevant in Monogram Elves. You can't really play Horrific Assault or Ramchu because, every card you play in your deck, especially the creature you play in the early game, are bad against Mono Red. Every card dies, every creature dies to Lightning Bolt. But Monstrous Emergence relies on having a big creature in hand or in play. And first, you choose a creature you control or you reveal the card, and then you deal damage with the spell on the creature you target. So you don't really need to have the creature in play when the Monstrous Emergence resolves, because even if your opponent kill the creature you choose to deal the damage, the creature you deal the damage from, the spell is still resolved and deal the damage. So it's a very, very relevant card. It's a very, very strong removal spell for the current color. And the other part of the sideboard, this explains itself. To be honest, I understand why playing Hydroblast, Island, and Tangled Islet, because you want to play more than just 3 copies of a Monstrous Emergence, and Hydroblast you can bring in the card as well against the Kraken Shaman decks. So, you can't really have those cards in your starting hand or draw them yeah, sometimes you don't have in your starting end, and you can't really draw them with at least the Stampede or Winning Way, but still having them is probably necessary for this deck to at least to try to survive or not, and to try to not die from those very specific answers to your attacks. So for that reason, I think the Vindicti's deck list is good. I don't really like the having just 3 copies of Timberwatch Elf in the main deck. I still think and I still find the Timberwatch Elf very strong and needed. Whenever I tried elves with less than 4 copies of Timberwatch Elf, I found myself in a struggle. I mean, you play this deck because you want to have a turn 2 Burst of Titania or a turn 2 slash turn 3 Timberwatch Elf in play, and every time you don't have this kind of play on turn 2, you are behind your opponent. A card that I still can't really dig too much in Elves is Nyxborn Hydra. Hydra is very strong, and I do love the Nyxborn Hydra in Gruul Monsters. Here, you very much relying on Priest of Titania. You can still play the Hydra, just have the huge creature or a huge rancor, even if you don't have so much mana. But this card is mostly good if you have Priest of Titania in play. So what this deck really miss right now is a very strong way to deal with Corzalan Shaman, and of course to have more copies of Priest of Titania. So you can try to play the enchantment that there's like Priest of Titania, Elvish Guidance, but still Elvish Guidance is not so good as Priest of Titania. So I think we talked about these deck lists pleasantly enough. So we are taking a look on what is different from my deck list, which is more or less the same thing. I mean, I think, yeah, I'm not calling the blue splash, but I still concur with Giorgio's ideas on deck, so I play more or less the same deck list. In my sideboard, I don't have Hydroblast, and I don't have the 5-mana Paladin, but I play Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. I think I want to bring in Vitu-Ghazi Inspector against Mono Red Madness and against Mono Blue Furries, Mono Blue Terror. So, in my opinion, having a good way to block flying creature is relevant. I found this current Elves deck very weak to flying creatures because it is more I can say maybe streamlined. I mean, whenever you don't have Curse of Titania or a lot of elves, a lot of Llanowar elves in play, you don't really do much every turn. So Vitu-Ghazi Inspector is a good way to block Sneaky Sneka or Visual Familiar maybe, but of course Kitchen Imp, and cards like Glint Oak, Delver of Secrets against one of the Terror, and maybe yeah. So you can bring a Vitu-Ghazi Inspector against a large spectrum of decks. I played Vitu-Ghazi Inspector against Mono Red Madness just because I think we want to cut some cards which are very bad. I mean, against Mono Red Madness, maybe the Paladin is better because having a big creature to deal 5 damage every turn is probably better than just having a 2/4 creature that its all purpose is just blocking Sneaky Sneka. To be honest, the vibes I get from Vitu-Ghazi Inspector are so good, so better than the Paladin that I'm not feeling really confident in with cutting the Inspector to add the Paladin. And another card which is really weird I'm trying right now is Elvish Branchbender. So Giorgio's idea about having the paladin in the sideboard is to have a flexible card. Yeah, I think it's good to have an extra finisher in your sideboard whenever you are forced to cut cards like Avenging Hunter or Masked Vandal. If you're playing against Mono Terror, you don't really need Masked Vandal. So you can bring in the Paladin, or you can bring in, yeah, I bring it in Vitigasing Spectra, but if I'm playing against a combo deck or whatever it is, maybe I'm really willing to bring in Elvish Branch Bender. If I'm playing against White Winnie, I don't like Avenging Hunter against White Winnie, because White Winnie plays 4 copies of Prismatic Strength, Battle Screech, Kosuke Fisher. So letting my opponent steal my initiative and then not being able to take it back anytime, it is very bad. I think the most relevant thing is about not being able to play the Avenging Hunter because my opponent have too many evasive creatures, and Elvish Branch Bender is Timberwatch number 2. So you count just your elves creatures, but you animate on land, giving it plus X, where is the X is the number of elves you control. And most relevant thing against prismatic strength decks is the land is colorless, so you can play around prismatic strength. It's also cool to see this card kind of generates you card advantage because you force your opponent to kill the branch bender or to kill the lands you animate. So, in my opinion, is better against those fair decks against which Avenging Hunter is not good, but it's also fine against strategies where you don't want to play Masked Band. All right. I played Well-Wisher, my sideboard, specifically against decks like Mono Blue Furious and Mono Blue Terror. We don't really need it. Well-Wisher. Well-Wisher is not really great right now. The card is very weak. Lava Dart is played not only by Mono Red Madness, but as well by Mono Red Synth, at least sometimes. So Well-Wisher is not really going to survive much, and is not good against a large amount of decks. Maybe just White Weenie, if they don't have Holy Light at least, and Doggos, and Elves. So you don't really need to play Well-Wisher because there's not so many decks against you are happy to play Well-Wisher. And against elves, you can still bring in Monstrous Emergence as an answer to their threats. So, I think this deck is good, but it has very more polarized matchups. So, if you're going to face Mono Red Madness, you are very likely going to die. If you're going to face Mono Blue Terror, maybe the opponent can't really do anything at all. So if you know what is your expected metagame, Elves can be very strong. If you don't know, if maybe you're expecting too many Kraken Shaman decks or Criprats decks, maybe you don't really want to play Monogreen Elves. So, yeah, let's go for the first. All right, we're playing the first match. I don't know if I already say it, but mostly the reason why I'm playing this deck list rather than the Giorgio's one is because I want to show you cards that like the branch bender have in my sideboard, and the me choosing to not play the Hydroblast if if you can make a confrontation between the two deck lists. All right, so now here we already have a capable end. We are starting first, but thanks to the Gingerbread Kevin, we can't really play the Crest of Titania on turn 2. So, yeah, thank you, Giorgio, for Gingerbread Kevin. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, I think it's worth it to play the Gingerbread Kevin, and it's very specific, and I think is probably a good way to understand if the bread the gingerbread cabin is bad for us or not. So we are facing, I think, spy. Yeah, there is a ballistic spy. Play the land. Now they have a side wildling. They go for a swamp. And we top deck land rent. Let's go. Yeah. So thanks to land rent top deck, we have the Priest of Titania on turn 2 on the play. Now my opponent is going to play their Overgrowth Battlement. And I think they still need another 2 lands to kill me, but have a Timberwolf Elf. So Wolf Roots and whatever cards they found a land range on top deck. Alright. Okay, next Hydra might be good. They have 6 cards in it. Forest, Ballistic Spy, Tune the Wall, Masked Vandal, Wolf Roots, Masked Vandal again. Alright. Okay. So 1 mana from the Priest of Titania. 2 mana. I think I'm going to play. I'm playing the Timberwatch, but I don't really need this General Scent. So I think already, in my opinion, Timberwatch Elf in play is better than having Timberwatch Elf in hand. Okay, it is time to die from Ballister's Pie. So you're tapping 1 green mana to play Tinderwall. If they have another land, they can go for it. I don't have any answers to their deck beside Firma. In my opinion, anyway, this matchup is good for us because we put a lot of pressure thanks to Timberwatch, Avenging Hunter, and eventually Nixma Hydra. So they have 2 mana, War Fruits, pass the turn. Okay, we don't know just 1 card. They don't play anything at all. Time for Winning Way, maybe? Or maybe I should play the Avenging Hunter first. Just 3 elves in play. Probably I'm not able to win this game without current range. I'm not able to win, but maybe I should play first Winning Way. I have 2 Winning Ways, so I think I have good chances to draw Queer Ranger. Yeah, we have 2 Queer Rangers. Okay. Probably I should not tap my Lanoir. I can play the Export Hydra with Bestow, just tapping 2 mana to target my Lanoir to give it trample to try to kill my opponent. Sounds good to me. I haven't played yet 1 land, so I can, if needed, untap, add 1 extra mana. I have 4 mana if I want to tap the Llanowar. I don't want to tap it. Let me think. So I can tap the Timberwolf, target my Llanowar. Then I can play Nismo Hydra. But do I need to target specifically the Timberwolf Elf with the Quirrell? I mean, after all, thanks to Nixmore Hydra, Priest of Titania, and Timberwatch here do a very similar thing. So they convert my Quirrell Ranger in extra damage. Well, I should first play Defender Elves, that's for sure. And now I wonder if I want to play my Winning Way. To be honest, I can still draw another 1 mana creature, and I haven't played yet a land, so I can still activate a Quirrell Ranger to make an extra land drop. And this seems kinda reasonable. Yeah, because any elf creature I play is, I think, 3 damages. Yeah, that's true. That's true indeed. Oh, um, are we little yet? Maybe? Are we already little? Have 6 elves in play. So 6, 12, 18, 19, not yet. So we shall go for the wind away. Creature, Masked Vandal. Let me think. If I play the Masked Vandal, um, I'm forced to untap the Priest of Titania, but it is fine. Thanks to the Masked Vandal, have 7 elves in play. With 7 elves in play, can I kill my opponent right now? I can deal 14 damage with the Timberwatch. This one is not doing so much damage. I probably should go for the Prest of Titania anyway. We take our time. Okay, so next is Varnal, just to have another elf in play. Tap the forest. Next more Hydra on the Lenoir. And we try to kill the opponent. I can activate another Queer Ranger. This one is a 4/4. So I can deal 14 damage just for Timberwatch. Maybe this is not enough. They did not block. Anyway. Yeah, that's not enough. Yep. 2 damage short. Too bad. You're right. I wonder if they have another land. They can exile my next Hydra, but I have so many creatures to attack that it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so it's time for my opponent to top deck, I guess. They don't really need top deck. They have so many good cards, good top decks right now. So unless they don't have a way to find the last land. Oh, Avenging Hunter, that's really unexpected. Okay, okay. I guess Avenging Hunter is good as any other way to find a land in your deck. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they have 5 lands in their deck. Okay, let's check if they have enough creatures. They have a lot of giant, but not Return. Right, right. I was expecting them to not have the 5th land, but usually they have 5 lands, and yeah, for Macau, yeah, we were able to win thanks to that. So we are bringing in 3 copies of Macabre and boarding out 4 copies of Masked Bundle. I think we can cut Coupole next more Hydras. The card is mostly good in late game, in my opinion. And we're bringing in a Coupole Elvish Branch Bender because Elvish Branch Bender can help us push damage in the early game. Yeah, maybe 3 copies. I don't know if I want just one expert Hydra. I think 2 or maybe 3 copies is for the better. So you may wonder if I want to bring in Monstrous Emergence. In my opinion, this is not really needed. We are not playing against elves, so they don't have Timberwatch or well Wisher. They do have Avenging Hunter. They have Overgrowth Battlement. They need creatures in play to cast Giorgio Charm from their graveyard. But to be honest, I think fighting over their creatures is kind of pointless. Unless we want to bring in Monstrous Emergence as a way, as an answer to Mesmeric Fiend, in my opinion, it's better to have more threats and just keep 3 copies of Macabre to kill them. So now we are playing on the draw. It is now the start of the struggle. I mean, it is now the true struggle. The true difficult part for us is winning on the draw against this deck, especially if they're bringing in, if they're cutting one land, because you know you don't really need the fifth land against Moon Elves. Now we have a very good starting end because we have bot Queen Ranger, Timberwatch, Winning Way, and for Macabre. So we have a way to play around the combo. Yeah. Oh, let me think. Should I play Queen Ranger on turn 1 or cycle to play Winning Way later? I think Queen Ranger here is the right play. Usually we prefer to play the creatures before casting the Winning Way just because just just because if you draw so many cards with Winning Way, you are going to discard them. So at this part of the game, thanks to the presence of Timberwatch Elf and I want to cycle another General's End, so I can play on turn 3 my Timberwatch. We block the Kiron, of course. They're not playing around any weird stuff like Mutagenic Road. Xeric Critica. I think they cycled this General's End. They have latest Stampede, a Sacred Wildling, or Rideling. A Gatekeeper Vine. They play the Gatekeeper Vine. Now I think they have as well. Okay, another 2 mana, another Urgot Battlement. That's a lot of creatures. If they have a Mesmeric Fiend, they can even play around the Firma Another initiative. Alright, at this point, I don't know if I want to play my Timberwatch or if I want to cast Winning Way. I think I'm casting the Timberwatch because it costs 3 mana, and next turn I will eventually be able to play Winning Way and tap with the Quirrell, hit another land drop, and cast another couple of creatures. Okay, now there's a land from the Saga Wildling, the cast, the Little Stampede. So I think we know all the cards they had in hand because they play just the Saga Wildling instead of cycling the General Center they may had in hand. So I think the General Center we were able to see in the cards was the General Center they cycled in the game. Okay, let's see if they have enough cards to fight me. They need an answer to the Firma card. Anyway, or an Avenging Hunter to put pressure on the battlefield. If they kept the Avenging Hunter post side, to be honest, expecting them to cut some cards like Mesmeric, Masked Vandal. Ooh, they have the Spy. Okay, I don't think they are going for the Spy right now. I mean, okay, they can cast again in the Roost Seek to have a card in the graveyard even after combat off, but trying to combo off right now. Okay, all right. I have an answer. Yeah, I have the most mesmeric thing in that. No, wait, they don't have it, right? Yeah, there's no mesmeric thing in it. Little giant. Okay, they just went for it. Where is the second copy of Little Giant? Here. Very macabre. Thanks for the game. Yeah, they tried. Game 1. over. Game 2 ended. Okie dokie. So yeah, maybe it was the wise decision to not play around for macabre, especially if you're expecting your opponent to if you're expecting elves to be pressure on the battlefield. I mean, we have both Timberwitch Elf and Green Ranger, so we can deal a lot of damage turn by turn. Maybe, yeah, they just maybe they choose to not play around for Macabre because they did not have any lead stampede. So without any decent follow up is better for going to the combo as fast as possible. It is yeah, it is indeed the best play because you play around me playing or winning way or only the stampede, and if you wait too many turns, um, it is very likely for me to find a Fairy Macabre or a draw spell that find me a Fairy Macabre. And we can go now to the next game, to the next match. Second game, second match, we are starting first. Okay, that's a keep. We have turn 1 Finron Elves, turn 2 Timberwatch. If they have an answer to my Finron, and if they're playing an artifact, I can play the Masked Vandal to excite their artifact. So even though we don't have a latest compared to winning way, we have a couple of threats. There's a silver proof bridge, General Sand on the top, please. First of Titania. Okay, now there's a choice. Are you going for the Priest of Titania or rather for the Timberwatch Elf? If I play the Priest of Titania, next turn I will have yeah 2, 1, 3, 5 mana. With 5 mana I can cast my Unavenging Hunter. And I think the best way to kill my opponent with Izzet Bridge is Avenging Hunter. So we're not playing around the Galvanic Blast, we're not playing around Crackling Shaman, but if they don't have any of those, I have an Avenging Hunter to close the game. If they have an answer to my Priest of Titania, I can play Masked Vandal. And if they don't have another red mana source, eventually it can overcome their interaction. So Grixis or I don't know, Grixis or Jeskai. Yeah, that's clearly not Jeskai because they have the Grixis fetch land. But we have a way to slow them down. We excite our land. We don't play the Timberwatch, but since the opponent is probably on Cleansing Wildfire, preventing them to cast Cleansing Wildfire might be good. We don't even know if they have another land in hand, so wait for the opponent. Growth Plus. Okay, that's a sort of Grixis control pile. They fetch for green, so they likely have another a black removal spell. So we play the first Timberwatch, wait for the opponent to do something. You can next turn attack with the Masked Vandal, do some extra damage, snap out, Seed of Synod. What are you playing? What are you playing? Some very spicy control build. Counterspell? Wow. Are we going to die from Grixis artifact control? That could be probable. Alright, let me show. Oh, okay. Cures Marauder. I sacrifice the Masked Vandal. They found another Izzet land. Attack with the Ogre. Just 3 cards in. Queen Ranger is good here. So next turn we can add 2 extra mana thanks to the Quirion. So we are forcing the opponent to destroy my Timberwatch. And then we are playing the Avenging Hunter. If they have a Breath Weapon, of course, if they have a Breath Weapon, I die. If they don't have it, I'm having a good time. One blue minute, brainstorm. What do you need here? A remote spell? A remote spell or a land? Okay, so we wait for the opponent. They make the sinking, cleansing wildfire. Alright. They tap out for this sweet play, brainstorm, and then shuffle and ramp with cleansing wildfire. Ah. Oh, refurbished familiar. Okay. What should I discard here? Maybe the next one, Hydra. I mean, after all, have double Venging Hunter. Yeah, that's fine to me. I discard the Hydra. Um, I need the mana to cast my Avenging Hunter. The fourth copy of Avenging of Timberwatch Hell. Wow. So we generate some mana. We play the Avenging Hunter. They can steal my initiative. Kind of fine. Because we have another initiative, so we can attack with Avenging Hunter. I think I'll keep my Timberwatch. Maybe I should attack with the Curon because I have a Timberwatch that's 3 damage. Yeah. I can try to block here, my Queen Ranger. And I'm not tapping my Timberwatch. I want to play around double lightning bolt or whatever they may have. They're of course attacking with their Bishop Amelia. They still mine initiative. I can still back the initiative thanks to the Avenging Hunter in my hand, and of course the Avenging Hunter in play. Swamp. Okay. So many non-blue basic lands. So seems like my opponent deck is some sort of Rakdos splashing for counter spell. Okay, now they have a lightning bolt in and they can't really lightning bolt my Avenging Hunter. Anyway. Masked Vandal. Masked Vandal is good because we can exile their Forbidden Familiar. They have Lightning Bolt and 2 unknown cards. Hmm. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I should play first the Timberwatch and not play the Avenging Hunter. I'll attack with the Queen Ranger and Avenging Hunter. Okay, yeah, that's plain. That's a plan. So Timberwatch number 2. They counter it. What do they have? Soul Manipulation. That was unexpected. I think the last time I played against Soul Manipulation was 2018. Okay. Okay, we attack. Probably should play the Masked Vandal over the Timberwatch just to be able. They're not blocking my Quirrell. That's fine to me. So I can't put. Oh, okay, they're blocking the Quirrell Ranger. How many lightning bolts do you have in hand? Okay, they're taking damage. They have a cast down, maybe? No? Okay, that's surprising. Um, Maybe I should forge the Timberwatch or either the Queer Ranger. I think I'll forge the Timberwatch so I can tap it and I kind of play around my opponent lightning bolt. Yeah, that's good. Let's see if they want to bolt my Findor. They can still bolt my Queer Ranger. I think I'm forced to play Masked Vandal here. If they had Lightning Bolt, 2 copies of Lightning Bolt. No, I think they don't have 2 copies of Lightning Bolt. Because there's no reason to let me forge my Timberwatch or pump my Queer Ranger. So we exile the Reprobation Vanilla. Exciting whatever it is in the graveyard. They can still back the. Yeah, they can still back. They can still my. Ah, okay, they bolted the Queer Ranger. You need another normal spell for my Masked Vandal. Huh. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, hmm, I think against this kind of opponent, we don't really need to sideboard. After all, mm, if, thanks to Evening Masked Vandal in main deck, and as well thanks to Evening Avenging Hunter, this deck mostly relies on having more threats than the opponent's answers. So rather than fighting over yeah, the stack, we are fighting over the resources. So we don't really play around the removal spell, so we just tick whatever it is in end on the play, and unless they have a master removal like Arcane Shaman with text and analysis, we're going to go for it. So I think I don't want a removal spell. Firmer Card is useless. V2 Gas Inspector, why? I don't think I want to bring in V2 Gas Inspector over Masked Vandal or the Avenging Hunter. And Elvish Branch Bender, yeah, it could be good, but against Lightning Bolt deck, I think I prefer the Psych Wildling or General Sand. So, yeah, I think we are fine. Maybe we could cut the Timberwatch Elf because Timberwatch Elf sometimes is not good, but as you can see, I think it's good. I mean, game 1 we had 3 copies of Timberwatch Elf, so it helped us a lot, in my opinion. Okay, so again, turn 1 Gingerbread Cabin, where we have one single Gingerbread Cabin in the deck, but in we had oh okay. Should we discard should I discard Llanowar Elves or the Timberwatch? I think I prefer to discard the Llanowar. Now I can exile their bridge, the Rakdos bridge. Yeah, I could exile the familiar, but destroying what the blue, what the red and gray, red and black is better. Now, unless they find another bridge, they are for sure having a. We are sure to have a Priest of Titania stick and play. They attack the familiar. If I found a General Sand, I would be very happy. No General Sand, but a Queer Ranger. And Queer Ranger allowed us next turn to play the Timberwatch Elf, unless they kill my Priest of Titania. If they kill my Priest of Titania, maybe I'm playing the Masked Vandal. So Queer Ranger, on top, the Vandal, play the land, play the Burst of Titania. Pass the turn. Weird to have the Gingerbread Cabin in end, but to be honest, I wasn't. The only reason I did not play Llanowar Elves on turn 1 was due to the presence of a Gingerbread Cabin, but weird enough, not playing the Llanowar Elves was the right call thanks to their refurbished familiar, because without if I had the Llanowar Elves in play, the only card that probably was good this card was the Timberwatch Elf. So kind of scary. So do you have a cast down for my Oznef out to kill my Priest of Titania? If you don't have it, yeah, they have it. Time to play another Masked Vandal, I guess. Lead Stampede on top deck. And Masked Bandit number 2. Combat for 2. Combat for you. A attack for 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Another familiar. Should I discard the Lead Stampede or the Timberwatch? I think the Timberwatch. After all, if the game goes longer, I think it is better to have another Lead Stampede so we can find many more threads or mana darks or whatever we can find. 2 damage for you. And now I think I'll play the latest Stampede. Latest Stampede. Lot of cards. The second copy of Llanowar Elves here is very strong. So I can play next turn Llanowar Elves, Findorn Elves. I can eventually fetch 1 forest with this Sagu Wildling. Do I need another forest? Let me check how much mana I can have in a couple turns. Another Refurbation Familiar. Wow. Are we discarding Nisma Hydra here? I think I'm very likely to discard this first Hydra. Or maybe latest Stampede, whatever. Land Grant on top deck. Attack with double Vandal. Masked Vandal doesn't die to Brush Weapon. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana plus 2. So there's no reason to play the Sagu Wildling. And anyway, I think I want to play this land, so we reveal the hand to the opponent, and then we play a group of creatures. So if they have a breath weapon, it's the right time to cast it. If they don't have it, I'm playing the Sagu Wildling next turn. 6 damage is a lot, but if you play breath weapon, you're as well losing a lot of creatures. You can really. Oh, do you have soul manipulation again? General Sent. Yeah. I'll untap with my Queer Ranger. They have little damage next turn. So if they have an answer to my Sagu, I lose the game. I mean, if they have a counter spell for my Sagu, you can expect them having soul manipulation again. I don't think the card is so good. Of course, I play the Sagu over the Generals, and I can still play an Expert Hydra to block. It does not do. Oh, come on. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Okay, should I bring in VTK as Inspector? Of course not. The card is good to block her for Bishop Familiar, but to be honest, I believe Masked Vandal is better, and maybe Timber, which is better as well. I haven't thought that we can bring in the VTK as Inspector to put a 1+1/+1 counter on my Timberwatch to play around Breath Weapon on Timberwatch. Yeah, weird situation indeed. So we're starting first now, and yeah, we need to figure out how to win this third game. To be honest, I think we were just unlucky. I mean, 3 copies of Refurbished Familiar, It's really painful. Maybe we lost due to the gingerbread cabin. Okay. Well, we have a turn to Priest of Titania, so that's a keep to me. And I think I'll play the Findor Elves. So, yeah, it is still better to play Findor into Priest of Titania unless they have the snap out. But if I have a snap out on my Findor, it's better to it's better getting snap out to the Findor over the Priest of Titania, probably. After all, Priest of Titania generates so much mana that probably losing the Findor Elves over the Priest of Titania is still better. So, okay, General Sent on the top deck, please. So you can play Masked Vandal. No General Sent. Well, still, anyway, it's fine. Cycle the Wildling. Get Forest. Play Priest of Titania. Pass the turn. You now have 3 mana plus Priest of Titania that is very likely dying. Cleansing Wildfire. No snap out. Do you have a bird weapon maybe, and okay. Um they've hatched the basic mountain. We can eventually here cast Winding Way, naming lands, just to have creatures in graveyard cast Masked Vandal and exile their rage. I don't know if it is the right play. Anyway, I do think they have some sort of bright weapon or whatever. I think we should go for the longer game, so I'm winning weighing for creature. And we do have a Junior Cent. So I can get just 2 mana from a Priest of Titania. So probably I should pick the Gingerbread Cabin. I don't need right now the extra mana. And if I found another forest, the bird and a Quirrell Ranger later due to the thanks to the latest stampede, yeah, because we can get a basic land from the Raging Hunter. Yeah, we go for the Gingerbread Cabin. 2 mana, Masked Vandal, and we exile their artifact land. Okay, it went well. So I suppose that we are not getting a counter spell for at least a couple turns due to them not having enough blue mana. They have a light, but they have a lightning bolt for my Priest of Titania. Timberwatch. Well, we have again 4 copies of Timberwatch Elfinen, so I'll play the Timberwatch, attack for 2, get Bird Weapon on my creatures, Island, Ogre Wallace, Lightning Bolt. Yeah. Okay. I need a land. Okay, there's a Priest of Titania. Should I play another Timberwatch? I think I'm playing the Priest. So yeah, next turn we are going for the big turn. Timberwatch. No, I'm joking. We are going for Avenging Hunter, fetch a land, play a Timberwatch, or vice versa. I mean, the Priest gives 1 mana for every elf in play, so kind of easy to play whatever way we want, unless they have a snap out. Contaminated aquifer? Oh, okay, yeah, because it is a swamp, so you can play snap out thanks to the contaminated aquifer. So do you have the snap out? Another lightning bolt. It is the third copy of lightning bolt. Annoying. Queen Ranger, where are you? This masked vandal doesn't do much now. Okay, I'll go for the latest stampede. Yeah, here it is. Queen Ranger. Okay, done. How many cards do you have in hand? 10 cards, that's a lot. So, they can play Queen Ranger and tap, play Masked Vandal, or I can play Generous End, Queen Ranger, yeah, it is fine both ways. So, yeah, we'll cycle Generous End. Generous End costs too much mana compared to the other cards. Next turn, we can play the Avenging Hunter. And we keep the Masked Vandal to exile their Forbidden Familiar. So what I should discard here? Maybe a Timberwatch. Or maybe I should discard the Masked Vandal. Yeah, we discard the Masked Vandal. There's not enough value from this Masked Vandal at this point of the game. We can play double Timberwatch or whatever it is. I mean, next time he'll have 4, 5, I think 6 mana, 7 mana. Snap out, Ponder. It is weird for my opponent deck to have Refurbished Familiar. After all, they don't have so many artifacts in play. First of Titania. Alright, time to untap, Defender, and bring back the Gingerbread Cabin. Play the Gingerbread Cabin. 5 mana. Yeah, I can play. I probably shouldn't play the Avenging Hunter. They have a Snuff Out. They can kill my Avenging Hunter and steal the initiative. So, yeah, Sega Wildling, first of Titania. That's fine. If they want to kill my first of Titania or my Sega Wildling with Snuff Out, is good. If they don't kill the priest, is very good for me. I mean, um, okay, to kill my Sag Wildling, but then I will have so many troublesome stuff for you that I'll be quite happy. What are you doing now? What are you paying the mana for? Ah, okay, that's just a murmuring mystic. That's fine, I guess. Unless they want to snap outing something. Now I can dare to play my Avenging turn. I know. Okay, snap out on Priest of Titan, I guess. Nope. No snap out. That's good. Alright. Time to play whatever we have in hand. We go for the big turn. Another food. Yeah, I can play the Nyxmore Hydra on Masked Vandal. No reason to play it on the Saga Wildling. Yeah, I have another Saga Wildling, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing first the Avenging Hunter because they have a Snap Out and a card that I don't know. So it is very likely for that card to be a counter spell. Another Timberwatch. Tap. 7 mana. I play another Saga. I think I should not attack here with my Saga Wildling. I can crack 1 food token. So unless they have a breath weapon, but I think they don't have it because there's no reason to to. I mean, why this Priest of Titania is even alive? Yeah, they have a cast down. Okay, so they have cast down and snap out. That's fine. What are you killing? Okay, 0 cost in end, but I still have the initiative. You can't kill my unless they have a remote spell on top deck. You can steal my initiative, and I have a Priest of Titania and an Ixmal Hydra and an Avenging Hunter. I can attack you with my Avenging Hunter. Have you found a breath weapon? Wait, those Sag Wildling is a dragon. You can kill my Sag Wildling with breath weapon. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm not playing Monogreen Elves. I'm playing Monogreen Dragons. Monogreen Dragons. And that's unexpected. Another dragon. And I have 5 mana. Yeah. Attack, attack, attack. Maybe just one Sagu. Oh, no, wait. Even if they steal my initiative, I have so many dragons. And I have it trapped a room next turn. So, yeah, that's fine. That's so hilarious. So hilarious. Ah, they're double blocking to not die from my initiative, from my Avenging Hunter. Breath Weapon, not good enough. Third game of this league. I uh, I think I've never seen so many gingerbread cabin in a starting end. This is the third time in this league, and is this just the third match? Oh well, anyway, yeah, we keep it. There's no reason to mulligan it. We can play Finor Elves and on turn 1, I mean, and then have a Masked Vandal on turn 2. Yeah, if they have a remote spell for the Finor Elves, yeah, I would be quite annoyed. What is going on here? Why there is a Temur fetch land? What are you playing, my opponent? You are some sort of Temur deck. So we go for another land worlds and pass the turn. Maybe it is the forest. What are you playing? Island? What is going on here? Oh, it can't play the Avenging Hunter due to the gingerbread cabin. Annoying, indeed. I'm shuffling. I'm fetching a forest with the Generosant. Pick a forest. Attack for 2 damage. And then I will think about playing the Masked Vandal. Masked Vandal here does nothing. It's just a 1/3 creature that can attack or block. I don't know if the opponent is a Temur control with Cleansing Wildfire, so maybe the Masked Vandal could be good later. So I think it is worth to wait here. Grapple with the past. Picking Corporate Serpent. Okay, so this makes my opponent Dimir Terror or Simic Terror. Weird, indeed. Next one, Hydra is fine. Gingerbread Kevin. Combat. Just win with the Elves. I can pass the turn and do nothing, but I need to put pressure on the battlefield or to waste my opponent interaction. So if they want to cast a counterspell on Sag Wildling, that's fine to me. They let a Sag Wildling resolve. They don't play anything in end of turn. So I think maybe they don't have a counterspell. But now they did not shuffle with the Ponder. Okay. Alright. Do you have another do you have the counterspell for my Sagu? I mean, you let the first one resolve. Why? Yeah. I was expecting that. So close focus resolves. I play line or else. So next turn I have 7 mana and attack with my Sagu Wildling. They go down to 14. So now I have 8 mana. I can play Nyxmore Hydra and give +6/+6 on my Sagu Wildling, or I can play Avenging Hunter. They have 4 cards. Oh, okay. That's a Monstrous Emergence. That's a Monstrous Emergence mirror match. Yes. Yeah, we're going for Prest of Titania. Masked. I mean, they have 2 mana open and they have a Cryptic Serpent in it, but they did not play the Cryptic Serpent. So, yeah, they clearly have a counterspell in it. Maybe another Lost Focus. But you can play around Lost Focus if we have a Prest of Titanium play. We can even play around Counterspell due to the Prest of Titanium giving us so much mana. So they cast Malevolent Trumbo, find a Tolarian Terror and an island, choose Tolarian Terror, and pass the turn. Another Priest of Titania. Okay. I play first the Avenging Hunter. Yeah. Do you have the Lost Focus? They have the Counterspell. Okay. I think we have enough mana to cast Nyxmore Hydra and do something relevant here, like trying to kill my opponent. That's a 6/8 creature. You go down to 5. Maybe I should, yeah, probably playing Avenging Hunter, yeah, wasn't the right call. I could have just landed my Prest of Titania and passed the turn. Now they can play double blockers, and that's annoying. They choose another Tolarian Terror with Malevolent Rumble. They play the first one. They play Cryptic Serpent. But we draw another Avenging Hunter. Now they are kinda, yeah, they're kind of forced to block the Masked Bundle. Yeah, we have little damage, but they can block with Tolarian Terror and Drowsy Spoon. Okay, that's good. We are killing the Cryptic Serpent because it has 1 extra point in attack, so they can deal 1 extra damage, and we don't really target the opponent creatures. So Burst of Titania, tap the Priest, play Avenging Hunter, fetch 1 Forest. I think we are getting back 3 lives with the food token. Okay, so now we can just wait, charm block for a couple turns, and we kill the opponent with a trap room from the Undercity. But still have the Nyxmore Hydra and an Avenging Hunter to kill the opponent. So we are in a very good position right now. I can really see my opponent killing me unless they have another Monstrous Emergence or whatever they may have in it. Maybe more like Mystic, Plasma Emergence. Tools of Maraza on Corruptive Serpent. That's quite something indeed. I mean, it is. This is probably what they needed. Okay, so at this point of the game, probably it is better to go for the Lost Well. So we get a match, unless we want to attack with everything. Nah, it is fine to wait. I mean, with Scry 2, there's no reason to deal extra damage with the initiative, because if we draw another Hydra, or if we draw a Lady Stampede, or an Avenging Hunter, will be quite pleased by this draw. I play Avenging Hunter and go for the Arena room from the Undercity. And I'll tap 1 of Titania to pay the ward from the Tyrant Terror. From the Tyrant Terror ward ability. opponent the opponent doesn't seems to like my top deck. 2 Avenging Hunters on the top. Yeah, that's sort of annoying. And probably I should have tapped the Priest of Titania over tapping the mana, but it doesn't matter. Anyway. Arena. Clientele. So I wasn't expecting to to target my opponent Clientele with something, especially an ability. I thought to I thought to myself, yeah, I have next more Hydra to target my opponent. I have Monstrous Emergence on my sideboard, but it's not really going to happen soon. And instead, we are targeting Tyrant Terror with the Undercity Dungeon. And now I'll pass the turn. Okay, it doesn't really. Yeah, I'll block with the next Hydra, but I can have it doesn't really matter blocking here or not if we just want to swing back with the Fatis. Alright. They have another Pulsum Raza. Yeah, they have another Tyrant in it. We know that because they revealed it. And game 1 is over. Easy game. Okay. I don't need Masked Bundle. And I think it is time to bring in my marvelous and great Elvish Branch Bender. Yeah, we can bring in Monstrous Emergence, but I like Elvish Branch Bender more because it is a threat and not just an answer. I mean, it is I who is the aggro deck here. I'm not a control deck, and my creatures are very good to stop them from doing the aggro, doing the beatdown. So if I have more threats, I can eventually fight better the answers that could be Gut Shot, Monstrous Emergence, Counterspell. So, in my opinion, it is the right time to play Elvish Branch Bender, even especially if we think of Elvish Branch Bender as the card that, just saying bullshit because I want to play the card. So don't pay attention to whatever I said about this card. The only reason I'm playing it is because I have a foil full set. Not well, this is not the only reason, but I mean, when I play a card, it is maybe for the vibes, but not only for it. I play it because I think it can be cool to see how the card works, or I haven't think the card could be good. So we take a mulligan. Wow. Okay. What is going on here? Not so many lands, but we have double anyway. An Elvish Branch Bender, or latest Stampede. Hmm. Maybe Yeah, maybe a win away. Yeah, I'm expecting to draw a land at least, or a Quern Ranger, or another Mana Dark. So keeping the Lady Stampede, the singleton Lady Stampede for the late game is good. I'm I'm not shuffling back the Elvish Branch Bender because it is not threat, so it can eventually force the opponent to kill it or to counter it, or it can eventually win the game if unchecked. Opponent plays Bountiful Landscape. Time to draw a land. Come on, opponent, let me untap. I want to play my cards. I want to play my cards. I want to play my Priest of Titania. I want to play my Priest of Titania. I love Priest of Titania. Yeah. Priest of Titania. Priest of Titania is good for me. Please tap your mana. No. Wow. No. No. Why are you doing that? Okay, now we can play the winning way. Should I play winning way? Because do I want my opponent to get an advantage from my play? I think I'm not going to play anything here. I'm waiting. They have Brainstorm, indeed, but I'm expecting them to tap some of their mana their next turn, unless they have a bunch of answers. So yeah, their best scenario. Ooh, you can play Land Grant. Not revealing my end. I'm casting Land Grant because if you want to play lose focus on Land Grant, you will be quite welcome. Okay, so at this point, I'm always picking the gingerbread cabin because I'm not playing anything this turn, and picking the gingerbread cabin now means that whatever land drop I'm making next is going to be an untapped land. Yeah, I could pick a forest over the gingerbread cabin because I already have 3 forests thanks to the gingerbread cabin. So maybe my maybe it wasn't the right thing to do. So grapple with the past, bring back the fetch land. Ah, okay, that's cool. So they can bring back a land they have not milled. Nice. So now we have 4 mana and they have 4. Oh, okay, okay. I have a 4 mana. I have a double Priest of Titania. Do you have Lost Focus? Okay. Double Priest of Titania. Do you have a counterspell? Okay, what is going on here? So I've played around counterspell. They did not play any counterspell. That's unexpected. Do you have Gutshot in hand? Do you have double Gutshot? Maybe double Monstrous Emergence? What do you have in hand? So they have a Tangled Islet. Pass the turn. Genor Sand. I'm playing it as a creature. So Elvish Branch Bender. Oh wait, I can animate my gingerbread cabin with Elvish Branch Bender. That's so cool. Come on, yeah, let it soul. I play the General Sand first. If they have a counterspell, they're kinda forced to counter my General Sand. Okay? So they have counterspell in their deck. Alright. Combat for 1. I'm playing around Lose Focus or Spell Pierce. There's no reason to um take the risk to lose our resources to a bad card. After all, we are in a so good position that we can really do what we can play in whatever way we want. Probably. Cryptic Serpent. Monstrous Emergence. Nope. Dimir Terror. That's fine. Okay. It is time to animate one land. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Um. Hmm. I play first the latest stampede. I'm going in auto mode. I'm auto mode. I don't really need to think about whatever I need to do now. I mean, two burst of titanium, Elvish branch bender. I have four divination cards in my hand. Double next Hydra. Okay. How much mana do I have? 8 mana, 9 mana. Time to do some bullshit. Latest Stampede. I want Queer Ranger. There it is. Queer Ranger. Play the Queer Ranger. You weren't expecting the Queer Ranger, right? On top, the first Burst of Titania. Play Forest. Yeah, play Findor. Tap 4 mana. 12, 15 minutes. I'm not sure if I tapped the right land to play the Findor Elves. To be honest, hmm, I think it is time to discover it. Oops. Yeah, thanks, Magical Line. Anyway, Double Avenging Hunter. Seems fine. Play the Timberwatch. Play. Like, whatever I'm doing doesn't really matter. Yeah, indeed, they conceded. Too bad. I had a little damage thanks to the Elvish Branch Bender, but I should target the gingerbread cabin with a branch bender to be sure that I targeted the right land. So animated the land and bestow Nixmore Hydra on the animated land. That's so cool from my point of view. So right now, I'm curious to see if we are going to start first and start with a gingerbread cabin and in every single match of this league. It is very weird. Anyway, we're keeping it. We have the Prest of Titania, we have double Lady Stampede. I don't know if I'm supposed to play the Land Elves or the top of the land. I think the gingerbread cabin, maybe? Yeah. So we go for the First of Titania on turn 2, hoping the opponent is not on some burn deck, and it is burn indeed. Yikes. Okay, I can do a match here. Just slam the First of Titania and hope to draw another 1 mana Dark on the top deck or a land drop. Alright, how many lightning bolt do you have in hand? No one. That's good to me. Yeah, let me untap. Yahoo! Alright. Okay. Line or else. Tap. 2 mana. Wind away. Because I want to play whatever 1 mana creature or whatever Saga Wildling, I'm able to draw. Okay, so, I have not played yet land drop, so cycle the Saga, play land or else. That's the turn. It is weird for my opponent or Rakdos Madness, because I think the opponent is playing Rakdos Madness to have not cast anything yet. Lightning Bolt on me instead of the Burst of Titania? Why? Yeah, they can play a Lightning Bolt now on the Burst of Titania, but let me untap with the Burst of Titania is of course worse than Lightning Bolt me. Kitchen Imp, Alms Vein, whatever, it is fine. They're not putting much pressure on the battlefield. They're not interacting with my creature. That's so good to me. That's so good. Now I have 3 copies of Lady Stampede in my hand, so if I draw a Quirrell Ranger, my hand will be very explosive. So starting with Llanowar Elves, maybe I should play my first of Titania. So next turn I have Lethal with an Ismar Hydra. And now I'm forced to play Lady Stampede. I can... Yeah, maybe I should play as well the Masked Vandal. Nothing to exile, but still, it is an elf, so I have more mana with the first of Titania. And we have a Saga Wildling, Timberwatch Elf, another Timberwatch Elf. So it is time to play a Timberwatch. We're forcing the opponent to kill the Timberwatch. If they kill the Timberwatch, it's fine because I have a 2 Burst of Titania to cast Nyxmore Hydra with Beast Tool on whatever creature I want. And if they have an answer to the Timberwatch, to the Burst of Titania, and the other Burst of Titania have a Saga Wildling to block and get some life. So I think I'm in a good spot right now. Unless they draw 3 copies of Lightning Bolt to deal 9 damage to me, and then deal the 2 last damage with the Cage and Imp. Okay, there is a Voldar Imp here. Attack with their Kitchen Imp. At this point of the game, I'm pretty sure to be able to untap and do some weird stuff. I mean, maybe not weird, but just very annoying from the perspective of my opponent. 9 elves in play. So 9, 18, 12 mana. I have little damage with the Timber, which elf. I could try that. I have 3 cards in, and to be honest, thanks to the presence of Saga Wildling, I think I can wait 1 turn, especially since I have already Stampede. I mean, I have 2 cups of Lady Stampede, so if I find a Quirrell Ranger, I'm pretty much sure I'm able to win this game, this turn. If I don't, I can wait for 1 turn, extra turn, since I have Saga Wildling with other creature in my deck. Alright, there's a Gira Ranger, another Saga. Easy. They did not kill my Burst of Titania, and I have now so much mana, so much resources. That is very surprising. Surprising, no, um, incredible. I tap 1 Burst of Titania for 12 mana. I have a Timberwitch that can deal 12, that I can give plus 12 to a creature. And due to the presence of Nyxmore Hydra and Timberwatch and the Quirrell Ranger, playing another Priest of Titania is not really a loss in mana, or either in the rate between mana and damage I'm dealing by casting first Priest of Titania and then Nyxmore Hydra on Masked Vandal. So it is safe to play the Priest of Titania. I'll tap my Elf Annual, I target my Nyxbur Hydra. I mean, I Masked Vandal with Nyxbur Hydra. If the target my Masked Vandal have a Timberwatch, yeah, I have enough damage now. Till then. That's a very huge Masked Vandal. And stuff that is a very strong card. I think that's enough. Yeah. Alright. There's this very specific kind of matchup I was waiting for to bring in with the Inspector. And even though I think initiative is not good against their flying creature, I can't really see me keeping Masked Vandal. I can eventually cut the Avenging Hunter to bring in Elvish Branch Bender, but Avenging Hunter by itself is a so much more powerful card that I believe probably it is better to keep the Avenging Hunter as a finisher. After all, we don't really need to keep the initiative. There's so many turns against the Rakdos Maidens, so more or less our game plan is not landing an Avenging Hunter in mid game, but it is mostly as playing a bunch of creatures, and then eventually cast in late game the Avenging Hunter to deal those extra damage. So we are going to deal something like 5 to 7 extra damage with the Avenging Hunter, while Elvish Parchmender more or less is weaker compared to the Timberwatch. So Avenging Hunter is better because it's a bigger creature. So yeah. Oh wait, unless we are willing to bring in Monstrous Emergence, because if we want to, if we want, we can kill their. If we want, we can kill their Kitchen Imp with Monstrous Emergence or Sneaky Snacker. Killing Sneaky Snacker, of course, is bad. Killing Kitchen Imp is good, but we're already bringing in Vidgas Inspector. Alright, Mountain, hold an Epicure, pass the turn, hold an Epicure, right. We are going for Land Grant, grab a forest, okay. Land Grant, grab a forest, Land Grant, grab a forest. And I'm playing as well Rust Stick from the Sag Wildling to grab another land. So I had my 3 first land drops, so I can play First of Titania on turn 2, Timberwatch and Vitigazi on turn 3 if they live my First of Titania play. If they don't, it will be annoying, but I'm expecting them to kill my First of Titania. I mean, living me on top with First of Titania is so weird that I can't really see them doing that. Like, okay, this hey, Vitiga's Inspector is really good with Land Grant. If I draw another copy of Land Grant, and if they kill my First of Titania, next turn I can play Vitiga's Inspector with Collect Evidence. So let's wait for the opponent to do something. I mean, yeah, I'm expecting them to kill my First of Titania. And I need to figure out if I prefer to play the Vitiga's Inspector as a black or cast into the fire. To bring an in, cast it to the fire. I can see. I see that. That's a quite personable side in. Alright. To be honest, I believe casting Video Gas Inspector without the collect evidence is fine at this point. It still is a 1/3 creature with reach, and being able to block their Sneaky Snacker or force them to bolt it is probably good enough. And I want to play the Findorn Elves, so no reason to play the Timberwitch Elf. Now, okay, I can block their Voldaren Epicure or force them to bolt the Timberwatch, but still it is a lose to me. A lose, I mean, we are just trading a 1 mana Rumble spell for a power wall third turn, so not a really great play for us. Boris Rakdos Garnarium, bringing back the desert. Did not attack, thanks to the V2 Gas Inspector. We draw Land Grant, and we have the gingerbread cabin in the deck. Okay, that's cool play. And now it is time to find another BTGS Inspector. I should play the Winnoway, so I can play both Finder Elves and a 2-mana creature, or just cast Timberwatch, or just cast Finder and crack the food token. And there it is, the BTGS Inspector. Okay, I'll play the Finder first, and then BTGS Inspector. So, Landgrad, Winnoway, Landgrad. No. Oh, many +1/+1 could counter just one, but I put that counter on Finder Elves because having a 2/4 when they did nothing to interact with my first V2Gas Inspector is probably not so relevant. So I prefer to have another Finder Elves. I mean, a 2/2 creature 2/2 Thinner Elves that it is able to survive on electric and of hostilities or whatever it is, and I can eventually block the modern Epicure. Alright, return opponent. 2/4 Portuguese Inspector would be eventually better to block the Kitchen Imp, but I have 2 copies of Portuguese Inspector right now in play, so I think it is good to just wait at this point. We have a Lady Stampede in hand, so next turn we can eventually try to draw a Quirrell Ranger. Quirrell Ranger will be eventually very strong against my opponent, thanks to the presence of Gingerbread Cabin in play, and thanks to the opponent being Rakdos Madness. So, in a case of Flimritter, no Guitar Snipe. Overall, better deck against blue-based tempo deck or control deck due to their burn spells having all of them madness. So they cycle there we go. Queer Ranger. Alright. Haha. That's so cool. That's so cool. So much card advantage with the gingerbread cabin alongside Queer Ranger. Haha. Get to life. I still have, wow, 5 mana. Okay. Timberwatch. And I'll pass the turn and wait for you to do something. So cool. I'm excited. I'm really amazed on how much good is Gingerbread Cabin alongside Quirrell Ranger. Yeah, we're doing um nothing so peculiar beside having the Gingerbread Cabin ETB return, but it is still a good interaction, especially since we play 8 cards that are able to fetch the Gingerbread Cabin. Finally, we have a late game. We can see how in the late game the Gingerbread Cabin works. It is something really cool. We were able to get until now 6 lives thanks to the Gingerbread Cabin, and of course thanks to the Queer Ranger. How many elves do we have in play? 6 elves, not so much, but still good enough eventually. Okay, I don't know if we should play around Electricary or whatever it is. We have another Queer Ranger, cool. Okay, they have 1 card in it. In order, I'll tap on my Finder and tap the Finder with the Queer, bring back the Gingerbread Cabin, play the cabin. I think I'll play my Prest of Titania, play V2 Gazi. I think I want to put my +1/+1 counter on the Prest of Titania or on the Timberwatch. Oh wait, they can't kill my Prest of Titania. Yeah, so on the Timberwatch. Yeah, on the Prest of Titania. They can't kill my Prest of Titania thanks to the presence of Timberwatch in play. technically speaking, I can kill my opponent at this point. Oh no, yeah. I've already activated the first Squirrel Ranger because I was having so much fun by generating mana, playing life-giving creature, and playing life-giving creature that I didn't care about my opponent having answers to my gameplay. Okay, and not playing the Thunder Elves because if necessary, I want to be able to tap a Thunder Elves during my opponent's turn to crack the token. If not, I'm winning the game next turn because I have Mixed Hydra that gives trample to whatever creature I'm targeting, and then I have the Temporal Shelf and a Couple Quirrell Ranger to end the game. A huge burst of Titania to block their Finner, their Voldar Knife here, I mean, and the game is over. Yeah, that's a very cool game head here. Thanks to Gingerbread Kevin in combo with Quirrell Ranger. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, we are playing Mono Green Elves. This is the last round of this league, and we are again starting first. I think it's 5 out of 5 matches. We are starting first. And we have again first of the time on turn 2. Unless they have a loud art from my Quirrell Ranger. If they don't, have a very explosive starting end. And it is just a matter on what deck is opponent playing. So cross your fingers. Hope it is a mono blue or whatever it is. Hope they don't have a force spike on my Crest of Titania as well. Another windy way. I untap with my Quirrell Ranger. Play again land. And Crest of Titania. Force spike. You can't spell burst. Right. And I'm not attacking with the Quirrell Ranger because maybe the opponent is a monoblue first and I don't want to lose my Quirrell Ranger to a Barrow Intruder. Barrow Intruder is the 1/2 creature with flash. And losing your Quirrell Ranger to that creature at this point of the game could be very, very annoying to say the least. So we are very likely facing Dimir Terror, but maybe the opponent is not a mono blue. It could be is a Terror, is it Fairies, Dimir Terror, Dimir Fairies. So a lot of different kinds of blue based whatever tempo deck or control deck. But there is a Toadskour and a Sneaky's Necker, so maybe this Dimir's Necker, Dimir Terror. They don't have Snap Out, and they don't have the black land. So my Prestitania survive and withdraw an Avenging Hunter. So it is time to play my Avenging Hunter, I guess. 2-5. Okay, let's think. If I play Window Way, am I able to play Avenging Hunters as well? Yeah, no. Okay, I think turn 3 Avenging Hunter by itself is quite good. So, Avenging Hunter, fetch a land, and then wait for the opponent. They now need to find an answer to my Avenging Hunter, and not having an answer to my turn 2 Burst of Titania. It is probably the most worrisome thing for them. So now we can attack. We know the opponent is not playing Man of the Forest, so there's no need to fear a 1-mana flash creature to block the Quirrell Ranger. They have a Brainstorm. Oh, and step Brainstorm reanimating the Sneaky Snacker is quite good. They can steal my niche too. So we now need to wait for them to have an answer to my Avenging Hunter, but maybe the opponent is not playing Dimir. They may be Mono Blue. Mono Blue with 4 copies of Sneaky Snacker is not so unreasonable. You can play the 2 mana divination, instant speed divination spell that is an additional cost. It discards a Sneaky Snacker. Yeah, that's not exactly an additional cost because you discard on a resolution of the spell. So if they counter your Snacker, you're not really. I mean, if they counter your spell, they're not really. They're not having a 2-for-1 on your card. It is indeed Dimir. So let's wait for them to cast Kupol. Kupol Snap out to kill my Avenging Hunter. We can play the next Hydra on the Equator Ranger. So we can tap the Equator Ranger in the turn to block the Sneaky Snacker to prevent them from killing, from stealing my initiative again. Equator Ranger on top is good because another creature can untap again. How much mana do we have? Okay, so that's 3, 6, 9, 10 mana. I probably should play first Winning Way. Yeah, we have so much mana that it is fine to cast at least one divination spell. So when any 1 mana creature is good. It's a good way to leverage on this Priest of Titania. I already played a land. I'll tap my Priest of Titania. So 5 mana. I can tap again. I have 4 elves, 9 mana. With 9 mana, I can play Generous End and an Xborn Hydra on a Killer Ranger. Or just cast an Xborn Hydra. That would be good as well. Yeah, I like this option. So I untap my Priest of Titania. Tap again. Cast Generous End. And then cast Nyxmore Hydra as a creature, not not as, or maybe I should target my fingernails. Maybe, yeah. Not quite sure. Nah. 1, 2. Oh, it's not a 1, 2. It's a 2, 3 creature. Yeah, so I can block this Sneaky Snacker. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, yeah. I could forge my Findorn. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, probably bestow on Findorn and then forge the Findorn was the right call. I forgot about the forge from the Undercity. Do I want to play around Civic Films? I think I want to do that. So I'll forge my Priest of Titania. Never seen so many Priest of Titania so big. So it is a first time, but still the Priest of Titania with a single 1+1/+1 counter from Vito Gazzi. And then later for the Forge from the Undercity on the Priest of Titania. If they waste a snap out on my Priest of Titania, I think I'll be happy. I mean, I have a General in play, an Avenging Hunter, and that's game over. Nice. Let's go to game 2. Let's see if we have some good cards against them. So my opponent is playing Dimir. Yeah, that's indeed Dimir Terror. And I'm expecting them to have, so Max Vandal is clearly bad. I could bring in the Vitgas Inspector, as which block their Sneaky Snacker. Not really worth probably. But I think I want to bring in the Elvish Branch Bender. Their interaction, their amount of interaction is quite limited. So I'm expecting them to struggle a lot against every huge threat I have. So thanks to Elvish Branchbender, I will be eventually be able to have both threats in the late game in form of Avenging Hunter, Sagu, and Generosant, and of course Nixmore Hydra if the game goes longer. But as having Elvish Branchbender and Timberwatch Elf in the early game let me have pressure in the early game as well. So it could be good. Let's see if it will be enough. And we are keeping this end, even if we lose hard to to a spell person line grant. But there's no spell person turn 1. We have the line grant. We patch a forest and play a Land of Elves. Next turn, we can play a Cycle, Generosant, play Findon, and play Queer Ranger. If we draw land, we can just tap 3 mana to play Timberwatch Elf. We interact with a turn to play, with probably the opponent turn to play in form of counterspell or cast down. Not really the greatest play we can have, but still good enough, since it's better than losing through acidificating fumes. Okay, so we cycle the Generosant. The Stampede is probably a very great draw here, because we can go back in game if they have acidificating fumes on my creature. I'm not playing Queer Ranger, of course, because even playing the second Finder Elves is not really great against. Ooh, they kept Paupers against me. Okay, that tells something. Maybe they boarded out the Sneaky Snacker if they have enough answers in the sideboard. I mean, Facilitating Fumes and Arms of Adar. Okay, they let me untap. Have a Timberwatch. So now I do need to choose between playing around Arms of Adar or playing around Counterspell. I think I'm playing around Counterspell, because I know my opponent plays Counterspell, at least for copies. I'm not sure if the opponent plays Arms of Adar. Letting the opponent counter and Avenging Hunter with Counterspell is fine if you are more worried about Arms of Adar. Seems like they have one. So we're losing to Arms of Adar, a card that is not so much played in Dimir Terror, but sometimes they have it just because they think it's good. And because Elves seems like to be in meta again. So tap 4 mana, win the game. They don't have Arms of Adar, and that's a really good thing to me. But they have terrible Snap out. Okay, right, mental note, mill 2 lands, play Trojan Terror, 3 cards in end. Alright, my opponent, I think you need to play around my Avenging Hunter. So, time for you to play your counterspell. Yeah, they're forced to counter this Avenging Hunter. Alright. I can't really play around anymore against Suffocating Fumes because the game is already a very late stage from bot decks. They have 2 cards in end, but they have a deep analysis in the graveyard. I have a latest Stampede and a Sag Wildwing. Sag Wildwing here doesn't do much, but I need to resolve my latest Stampede, and playing the Crow Ranger here might be the right call, because if they cast Acidificating Fumes, I'm not able to come back in the game, since they have a Tolarian Terror in play. Choosing to not attack here was probably the right call. They have just 8 life left. But they left enough mana open to force me to fear counterspell. So I think it is time to play my Sagu Wildling. So Sagu Wildling is not really something you need to be worried about if you're playing Dimir Terror. but Seg Wildling alongside Nixmore Hydra seems good enough to me. So they cast its cover, discard Angler and Snacker, another to its cover, discard Lorien and Gurmag Angler, and it's now their turn. They have 5 cards in hand, 4 cards they played on land. They're casting something. Remember Gurmag Angler. And there it is. Gurmag Angler. Alright. Exile 2 Capsule, Gurmag Angler, 2 lands, and a couple spells. They have 3 cards in and not so many. But we have enough time to try to kill them. So next turn I'm probably going to play my Nixmore Hydra. Sneaky Snacker is fine. Do they have another counter spell? Forest on the top deck. How much mana do you have? I can untap 2 times with my 2 Kura Rangers. So have 5 mana plus another 2 mana, 7 mana in total. If I tap out to cast my Nixmore Hydra, am I able to heal them? Let me think. So I need to deal them 7 damage, 9 damage, because they have 8 life and a blocker. This creature is a 3/3, so I need to give it something like an additional 6 in power. So I can play my Hydra to heal them, but I don't have enough mana to play around Spell Burst. Because I'm giving plus 5. No, that's not enough. Okay. I don't have enough mana to heal them this turn, so I'm starting first with the Lady Stampede. At this point, you can't really play around anything, and you can't really play around counterspell anymore. So, ooh, double Elvish Branch Bender. Ho ho. Okay. I'm attacking with my Sag Wildling, and then I'm casting 1 Elvish Branch Bender. Attack with my flying creature. I'll force them to black. Let me think I want to cast Llanowar, or the Elvish Branch Bender. Since they block it, unless they have a Brainstorm and they reanimate those Neckers in my end step, I think it is better to cast the Elvish Branch Bender, because I think just 1 Elvish Branch Bender is enough to kill them. Have 5 elves in play with Elvish Branch Bender, 6, 7 elves. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's probably enough. So we attack with everything. I have an Elvish Branch Bender and 2 Kura Rangers. Okay. I can see how we are able to win thanks to Elvish Branch Bender. They need an answer to this creature, but they have just 2 cards in hand. Alright, my opponent. Alright. You can't really attack here. And if you don't attack, or if you attack, yeah, they need to attack and have an unexpected thanks to overcome this situation, this dark situation. You attack with everything. Okay. They have a Suffocating Fumes, maybe? Another creature. Snap Art cast Snap out on the Elvish Branch Bender. Right. They don't have a counterspell. I think. So I have 7 in power in play. It is time to play my Nixmore Hydra. And how do I tap my mana? I probably should just give +1/+1 to an anywhere else. I can tap with Quirions or with the Current Ranger to add more mana. Should I do that? Or should I play around Pauper? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I should play around Pauper. If they have a snap out, no, yeah, they can't cast snap out. They need a cast down. So I'm casting Nyxborn Hydra with X equal to 1. If they have Spell Pierce, I can play around Spell Pierce and then untap Battle Anywhere Else and find on Elves. Okay. What answers do you have in it? You need Anvil. Counter spell. Countering my Nyxborn Hydra. That that's a good play. Indeed. Okay. Let me think. I need to survive just one turn, so I can attack with Sagu, eventually one Queer Ranger. I think I should play my Elvish Branch Bender. I probably should cast Landgrant as well. Just, I know, yeah, I have a forest in it, so I can do that. If I attack with my Sagu and one Queer Ranger, I probably don't have a need to attack with more than one creature. Probably should attack just with the Sagu. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I can't untap with the Queer Ranger. I need to block one creature with a Queer Ranger. I can survive if they have Suffocating Fumes, but I'm forced to block with the Elvish Branch Bender. So now they need to kill me. Oh, well. I do wonder what they can do now to win Suffocating Fumes. Yeah, we lose to Suffocating Fumes, I guess. Let me think. Should I untap my Sagu Wildling to block with the Sagu? Yeah, probably should play around Suffocating Fumes. I wanted to play around the Animal Spell. Nah, I think it's fine to consider here. I don't want to lose my Elvish Branch Bender, but I can animate a creature. It is just a 2/2 if I play a Lion or Elf. So there's no way to win this game. Okay, that's game over. Losing to Suffocate to top deck at Suffocating Fume is fine, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we know they kept the Sneaky's Necker in post-sideboard games, so we can play around around the Sneaky's Necker if necessary. Oh no, no land, we move. Decent starting end, so it's okay. I think I'm forced to keep this end and put down maybe the next more Hydra. Next more Hydra is good, but it is very overcosted and it is good only later in the game, so I'm not sure if I want to give it. So we play the Sagu first. I don't want to show them my starting end, so giving them information of what can I do here, so we can wait for the land grant to play it later. I'm expecting them to have a tap at the land, hoping they don't have an answer to my First of Titania. Another land grant. First of Titania. Good. Seems like we are going to fetch again the gingerbread Kevin. It's very likely for my First of Titania to die from a snap out. No snap out. Avenging Enter. That's good. So, land grant, tap 2 mana, play land grant, fetch forest, play forest, tap another 2 mana, cast land grant again. And we're fetching the gingerbread cabin. So they don't have an answer or a remote spell for my Priest of Titania. Do they have a counter spell? Okay, brainstorm and step. Now they're forced to kill my Priest of Titania if they don't have a counter spell, because I can eventually play Avenging Hunter on turn 5. Avenging Hunter is probably my way to win this game. After all, we don't have much winning ways or lead the stampede in end. We have a General Scent, but I don't want to cycle this General Scent unless I'm forced to do that. So maybe I'm forced to play the Avenging Hunter on turn 4. Let's wait for the point. So brainstorm, untap. Are you brainstorm locked maybe? They pass the turn, and we draw General Scent. Gingerbread cabin. Alright. I probably should cast my Avenging Ant. We trade an Avenging Ant with a counter spell. If they let it resolve, we have General Scent, and we can play the General Scent with the basic land we fetch with Avenging Ant. If not, okay, there's a Sneaky Snacker in graveyard, so that's getting a counter spell on Avenging Hunter is fine. Now we wait for the opponent to do something. They weren't able to find yet an answer, and Snap out on this Priest of Titania is really probably bad. I mean, I already have enough mana in play. Alright, the Winding Way. Do you have a counterspell to my Winding Way? Nope. I'll choose creature. And we have the Elvish Branch Bender. Good. Or maybe not. I think I prefer to play my Findor Elves. So, with the Winning Way, we got 2 Monstrous, an Elvish Branch Bender, and a Land Grant, so that's fine. That's cover. Mill, Tolarian Terror. That's good. See if we get Infuse. Okay. That's fine. Next turn we'll go for Elvish Branch Bender and Findor. It is clear that they want to prevent me to not play the Generous, and maybe they don't have enough they don't have enough instant and sorcery in the graveyard to cast their creatures. Lauren reveal it, that's fine. Or maybe not. Okay, they reanimate one Snacker. Timber Watch. So we play Findor. And yeah, Timber Watch is better than Elvish Branch Bender now. I can wait for one turn to cast my General Scent because I have the Findor to cast a General Scent, and losing time against a deck relying on Snuff Out is fine. After all, if I'm able to land a Findor, if I need to wait one turn to cast Findor, to then cast General Scent, I think this is probably better than cycling the first General Scent. Another Lorien. Arms of Adar? They have both Arms of Adar and Suffocating Fumes. This is annoying. Quite annoying. Really annoying. I guess we are not getting the trophy, after all. So we fetch a forest. Okay. General Scent and Elvish Branch Bender. That's good. That's really good. So, haven't told our elves, our we don't really have so many elves, so we don't really get triple creatures. We don't can't really animate lands so big to make a difference. So general top 6 mana, play General Sent, get a snap out a General Sent. They play another land, 5 cards in end. They, of course, have a lot of interaction in end. Okay, attack with this Necker. To be honest, the Sneaky Snacker is not doing so much against me. Warrior Village is the is and Torrent Tower. So now they have plenty of cards in end. Sag Wildling. Okay, that's a free food from the gingerbread Kevin. And I think I'm playing my Sag Wildling over the Elvish Branch Bender. Not sure if this is the right play, but can block the Snaker. I'm forcing the opponent to have an answer to Sneaky Snaker for an attack with this Snaker. I'm forcing an answer to the Sagu if they want to attack with the Snaker. So, no, they're Lorian. So, my opponent plays 4 copies of Larian Revealed, but they weren't able to to cycle any Lorian because it was not necessary. So instead they choose the Artcast Lorian Revealed. Alright. Discard the penalties. Okay, I suppose it is a good tell on who much are or well placed are then right now. The black with his Neckar. Yeah, because they're reanimating it with the Divine Analysis. So we untap the Sagu. Play the Gingerbread Cabin. Get another food. Tap another 2 mana. Cast Elvish Branch Bender. If it have counter spell, okay. You counter my Elvish Branch Bender. That's fine to me. But then I'm able to cast Winding Way, and this is probably better for me. If not, I'm cracking a couple of food tokens. Cast down. Why are you playing Brainstorming and Step if you have a deep analysis in the graveyard? Do you have a Thought Cover already? So they're animating this neck. Not really impressive. Not really impressive with that much mana. I'm not really impressive with that much card advantage they have now. They haven't kept the penalties against me. So they're trying to play the match as a control deck. And when you are able to outcast 3 copies of Lore Revealed, you are indeed doing the control really well. I can now activate my Elvish Branch Bender if the Elvish Branch Bender untap. I mean, why not expecting your opponent to have another copy of Arms of Hadar? After all, they play both Suffocating Fumes and Arms of Hadar. Maybe they have an Echoing Decay. Cast down on my Sagu Wildling. That's wild, I guess. To be honest, I can't really see me winning this game. The game just went so... It's just my opponent throwing better than me, more or less. I mean, I think I was able to cast just 1 copy of Winding Way throw. And they had all the answers they needed at the right time. The sad part about this match is, okay, another cast down, is me losing game 2 because I lost it to a top deck had Suffocating Fumes in the game that I was able to play around Suffocating Fumes, but instead I choose to play around a 1-for-1 removal spell instead of a mass removal. And anyway, I was expecting. Oh Jesus! I was expecting Arms of Adar and not Suffocating Fumes. Well, anyway, we attack, 1 damage. We get a counter spell on a anyway. I mean, it is clear the opponent don't. It is clear the opponent have a counter spell in hand. After all. Yeah, sure, whatever. And tap on my Quirion. Play again the Gingerbread Cabin. I'm not playing around with the third copy of Arms of Adar, Suffocating Fumes, and whatever they may have. Yeah, whatever you want. And cracking a couple of food tokens. And they still have a deep penalty in the graveyard. So why did you cast Mental Note over... Ah, yeah, because they have cast Ponder in the previous turn. Double Island, play an island. Cast Deep Analysis. No, that's a Gurmag Angler. We got a lot of life from this Gingerbread Cabin anyway. That's a good thing, but not good enough. I mean, oh yeah, go for this for another copy of Suffocating Fumes. I guess you indeed draw so many cards that yeah, that's enough. Okay, yeah, I suppose that's enough for me. I mean, good game, opponent. You had better draws than me. I probably should play in a different way and not playing around anything, maybe. Anyway, that's a good result after all. So 4-1 losing to deck featuring a bunch of master removal is good. I mean, after all, Elves is weak to master removals, so losing to this very specific kind of card is still in the range of what we should expect from Elves as a deck. Okay, so Elvish Branch Bender, was the card good? Maybe. I mean, I think the only time we were able to activate the Elvish Branch Bender, I targeted wrong land. So I targeted a land with Summoning Sickness. So for that reason, I think, yeah. Anyway, the game was pretty much over already. We faced Simic Terror. So what we were able to see in this league was how VTG's Inspector is good. The card was a powerhouse for ours, and it won, I think, at couple matches by itself, maybe. We aren't able to see Monstrous Emergence because I never played the card in any post-sideboard games. Maybe I should have thought about bringing the card against the mono blue the terror decks like Dimir Terror, because against Dimir Terror you're expecting your opponent to kill your Kitos, so if you aren't able to stick your big threat in play, it is better to have an alternative as an answer to your opponent Gurmag Angler or Tolarian Terror. Monstrous Emergence, it is indeed an answer to your opponent's creatures. You can reveal General Scent or Avenging Hunter to kill those 5/5 marine monsters. Anyway, I think, yeah, probably is not the best card against a deck playing Spellpers. So, whatever it is, most time against Dimir Terror is just a race on whoever is able to win the game faster. on how many master removal is Dimir able to draw. All right, so yeah, I think we talked about everything. If you have a feedback for this video, or if you think we can I can improve my video game plays or my deck list in a way that I haven't taught yet, feel free to add a comment on yeah, in the comment section of this video. Text me on whatever channel on social network you think it suits you better. Ping me, write me, ask me whatever you want to tell me, and I'll try to make better contents for you and of course for me. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.